You're all right. That's crazy. Whatever's got to happen. We shall see how many grassy hills you found. The work of polish it.
We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dennis has invocation.
Jesus, we just are mindful of two big things come to mind. Those that are trapped in warfare. There's over 1,000 military conflicts occurring around the world between different armies and such. And just be with those that are trying to help the people that are hurt and in danger because of military conflicts. And second, be with those that are struggling. Be with those that are helping those that are struggling, recovering from natural disaster, whether it's the earthquakes in Burma, the flooding in Arkansas, etc. And just bless those that are here to extend grace and love and blessing to others. And thankful for Rotary, great example around the planet of how to extend love and live grace outward to others. Watch over us in our daily lives and help us to be mindful and help me to be mindful of others who we can touch and impact in a positive way. Amen.
Amen.
Let's stay standing for a moment to recite the Rotary four-way test from the banner. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? To all concerned, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thanks. You may be seated. I do have several announcements today. First off, just housekeeping wise, the Rotary Board of Directors will meet a week early this month, so we are meeting next Monday, the 14th. We adjusted our timing a little bit to choose scholarship recipients in a timely fashion, so those students are aware if they're getting any funds. I wanted to invite Wes up for.
So you'll see on your tables, the Hall of Honor for Clinton High School will be on April 25th. You'll see a QR code if you'd like to attend for our luncheon. As you can see, we've got 6 student inductees where Cy Cade worked for the school district for over 50 years. 50 years he worked for the Clinton Community School District. Romy Davis, Community Service. Dr. Michelle Keck, she's the president of Grandview University. Keith Knudsen is a retired captain in the Navy. He went to the U.S. Naval Academy. Scott Moorhead's an actor, comedian. You might have seen him on some TV shows and been in some plays. And most people know Gabby, a local artist who's doing great things in the community. So you're all invited. Please, we'd love to honor these folks. And for us, it's a matter of we really want to ensure that our students and that you can kind of be a Clinton kid and go out and do great things. So if you have any questions, let me know. But Hall of Honor for Clinton High School will be on April 25th. Thank you.
For those online, hi Shannon and hi Dan.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. We'll include this information in the newsletter also, but the Clinton High School Alumni Hall of Honor is going to take place on Friday, April 25th. So Wes was sharing about that with some local honorees and Clinton High School alumni. So thank you for that.
On anything, please. Thank you.
We have a new member badge here today for Levi. So Levi, if you want to come up and share a little about yourself, you'll get your official Rotary badge.
Hey everybody, my name is Levi Jones. I'm married, I have 3 kids, and me and my family just moved 4 months ago. Bought a house over on Meyer Place. Grew up in Mount Carroll, Illinois, one of 6, and grew up in a funeral home family. And currently I own and operate Law Jones Funeral Home with my dad and my 2 brothers. The funeral home was started back in the 60s by my grandpa and grandma in Savannah. Over the years, we have kind of grown and contracted and grown, and currently we have 7 different locations in Iowa and northern Illinois, and we're building a new funeral home here in Clinton. In front of the fairway, you might have seen the sign. And that's about it. Hopefully the funeral home is built here by the end of summer, and we'll see how the new tariffs and everything change that. But yeah, just excited to be here, to be part of Rotary, and thanks for having me.
Great. We're all looking forward to getting to know you, and welcome officially to Rotary. I have an exciting announcement today too. This Saturday, April 12th, is the district conference taking place in Ankeny. I know Andy Green is attending. I know Norland is attending. And then I also know that Paul will be there because he will be receiving the Guardian of Integrity Award. So let's give Paul a warm round of applause. It's a great way to honor Rotarians such as Paul, who give so much of their time and energy. And as I shared with Paul, the nomination wrote itself. I mean, if there, no word limit was beyond the scope. There's just so much to say about Paul, all his efforts for our club, in particular with fundraising and fellowship. So it was really easy to write that nomination. And I want to congratulations to you, Paul, on behalf of our club. So we'll celebrate after too. I'd love to hear all about it. So I think that was it for me. Does anyone else have announcements? All right, Mary Swenson, time for fellowship. Right here.
Oh, you don't have to overdo it. Okay, welcome everyone. I think we have a big welcome for a Rotarian we haven't seen in a while. Welcome back, Judge Sebright.
Thank all of you for the cards I got and also for your prayers and concerns, but it's great to be back. Thank you.
Good to have you. Okay, so we have some guests today. Andrew, do you want to introduce your guests?
We'll do all that
for the program? Okay, then student guests. Prince of Peace. Okay. Okay, welcome. And this young woman who is responsible for the new theater at the high school. Gary DeLacy will introduce her.
No, she'll introduce herself.
Okay. Tell the story about the theater.
Well, it's not really mine, but I do spend a good chunk of my time in there with choir and drama and speech. So I do kind of claim it, but my name is not on the building. So
that's okay. We'll let you claim it. Welcome. Okay, so we have the start of a brand new month, and yeah, it is, isn't it? April birthdays. We have Christy Akins on the 3rd, Dennis Slauber on the 4th, Paul Homer is the 6th, and so happy birthday all of those. And then we'll go to Brian Beanstra on the 11th, Aletha on the 15th, Ray Geminis the 15th, Graham Timian the 17th, Rich Klon the 18th, Norland Hinkie on the 19th, Mike Kramer the 22nd, Lynn McGraw, April 22nd, that's not your birthday.
No, you got the birthdays and the
That's
anniversaries.
anniversary.
Oh, whoops. You're right. Sorry. Okay. Oh, I was hoping to keep this dementia at bay, but obviously not. So happy anniversary. I thought that was a lot of birthdays. Jennifer Graff on the 28th and Lindsay Moorhart on the 29th. And okay, let's go back to birthdays then. Levi Jones, the 2nd, Sue Watkins the 4th, Lindsay Moorhart the 7th, Ryan Beanstra the 9th, Dave Pillars the 12th, and Joe Brown the 23rd. So happy birthday and happy anniversary to all of you. So maybe I can do better on trivia. We'll see. Okay. Oh, also, do we have some corporate guests or corporate members that need to introduce themselves? Anyone? Okay. Anything else, Madam President? No. Okay, so today, in honor of our speakers, I have some library trivia. Exciting, huh? We'll start at the very back table, Dale. The Bryant Park location of the New York Public Library features patience and fortitude. 2 large statues of what animal?
That's a good question.
Yes, it is, so pay up. $5, please. It would be the lion. Okay. Let's see. Amy will go to your table. Featuring the classic character of Miss Marble, The Body in the Library is a detective novel by which British author? Okay. $5, please. It's Agatha Christie. Okay. Between 1883 and 1929, what Scottish American titan of the steel industry funded more than 2,500 libraries bearing his name? Karen, your table.
Yeah.
Andrew Carnegie.
Very good. I figured everybody get that one, but you still have to pay. How about $3 for correct answers? Okay, and then let's see, Brig, your table. What 10-letter word means library and at least 3 Romance languages, including Italian, Portuguese, and Spanish?
Biblioteca. Biblioteca.
You guys are too smart. Very good. Okay, we'll try the president's table. Depicting a man on a ladder examining books in a library, the 19th century Carl Spitzweg painting, oh, I shouldn't have read this one, Der Birkenworm, has a title that translates to what in English? Oh, of course, the librarians would know it. Very good. The bookworm is the book. Okay, and our last table, Brent. No cheating on the internet there. Europe's largest library, the Library of Birmingham, has the 1623 first folio of what playwright and poet with a whole memorial collection in the building?
Shakespeare.
Very good. Okay. There goes fellowship for the day. Thank you all.
She goes, hi. Got some smart Rotarians in the room. All right, without further ado, we will have Sue Watkins and Kida present our program today.
Great, so I've brought with me some people. We're going to talk about the proposed Comanche Public Library expansion. We got a presentation. We're going to try and get through it as quickly as we can because it's long, because Here's a news flash. I'm long-winded, right? So with me is Gail Grimm, our new library director. Come on up, Gail. Shannon is our board president, and Dave Bowman is one of our council members, and he is the liaison to the board from the city council. So Shannon McManus, by the way, also runs Travel Bug. So there's a shameless plug for Travel Bug. How'd you like that, huh? Okay, Gail, come on up. We get this up and running. There you go.
Yep. Well, I'll get started right away. I want to thank you for your time today. It's lovely to be here. Great food. Feel like I could come every week and just sit in the back and snack. So, well, we'll try to talk fast, so get your fast listening ears on. The library has, for a couple of years, been noticing that it just needs to be updated. And so a group of interested parties got together and decided to come up with all the things that they feel that it needs, and then take that to an architect. And so what you'll see today is basically our needs at the library, and then what the architects came up with to support and solve all of the deficiencies.
Here, you can look on here.
Thank you. All right. And so this is the list of interested parties. This is our public library mission statement, and everything that we do there and everything that you'll see today is revolving around that mission statement. So our guiding principles for our library expansion project started with stewardship, and I'll let Dave talk about that.
So stewardship's near and dear to my heart. As a member of the city council, of course, I'm responsible for spending taxpayer dollars, so I have to be careful with what we do. And although the cost to an individual taxpayer in Comanche is going to be relatively low for the new library, and we're asking for a lot of money, so we are very mindful of that fact, and we're very mindful to make sure the money we receive and we spend is done wisely, and we do the right things for our library.
And so with that, libraries are spaces where learning should occur. And so whether it's educational, cultural, social, growth in our community, that's what we're all about. So we're keeping that in mind. Our community is at the forefront of our thinking when we are dreaming up this expansion. And it basically, a library, I always think, should be like the kitchen of your home. It's the place where we congregate, where we should go often. And so for our community, we're hoping to grow that thinking. And then we also have a security issue there. We would like to enhance the security of our building, and our this would also include our technology security. Also, we have a wonderful site that the library is on right there on the Mississippi River, so we'd like to bring the outdoors in and the indoors out, providing programming that includes both. As far as the sustainability aspect, along with our stewardship, we would like to make sure that we're building with materials that are sustainable, and with our systems and the materials that we use. Our identity is we have to be very cognizant of our identity. The library was donated in 1965, and so with that, it's an icon in our city. So we want to make sure that it stays and that we have that integrity in place as we go forward. I already spoke about technology, but we do need to improve the technology and make it safe. And then our site, with that in mind, we are thinking when we expand that we would improve also the parking lot and make safety a concern there for both the vehicles and the pedestrians.
Oh,
yeah.
I was behind you. That's okay.
All right.
History of the building.
I think
That's me. Yeah. So let's talk briefly about the history of the building. It's a private residence. It's a single-story steel frame. Steel frame comes in. We'll explain why that's important later on in the presentation, but it is actually very important. And later on in life, the building was donated to the city and turned into a library in about 1965. In 1996, we expanded the existing building to the west to make some more room for stacks and books. But basically what we're looking at is a single-story structure with a basement. And you see, if you look at the list up here, we've got a few of the areas we use. We have one office, and in order to get to the storage, you have to go through the office, so that's not very convenient. We have a toddler area that used to be the meeting room, but we needed a toddler area, so the meeting room went away. We have an eating nook, a kitchen storage space, 2 restrooms, one of which is kind of scary, and one large open area, which is, of course, where all the patrons go in the library. There's a couple of pictures of what the building originally looked like going way back. You see the picture in the upper left is showing the library as it was before the expansion, and you can see it from on the lower right. You're looking at the library building from the riverside. That's just a shot of the site as it sits today. We have a total of 7 stalls in the parking lot. 7, and that's going to be important when you see some of these pictures later on of how many people actually use the library. Only one of which is marked as a handicap stall, and it's not ADA compliant. It's not ADA compliant because that parking lot is sloped way too much. So let's talk about some problems with the library and as it sits. So I'll go through those. Go ahead and hit the list there. So you see the highlighted ones are going to come up need to be addressed in the next 10 years. One thing I want to point out is regardless of whether our voters approve the expansion project this November, the library building needs help. And I'm going to talk about some of that. Go ahead. So let's start with some of the problems with the site. Now, we already talked about parking. Unsafe pedestrian walk pathways. We have the pathways go around the back of the library, go down to the library dock. How many people here have been to the Comanche Public Library? So you're familiar with that site and the dock. So that is unsafe. Yes, yeah, very good. There's no dedicated outdoor activity space at the library and non-compliant ADA access to the river, including the dock itself. We do this expansion project. We have to fix the railing on that dock to make it ADA compliant. So we want to increase parking capacity at least 4 times. We'll improve pedestrian access, provide outdoor program and gathering spaces, and enhance the connections to nature. Go ahead. In the infrastructure, talk about the building. Gail mentioned security concerns. It's not just security with the staff, but security for patrons. If you want to go in and do your taxes at the library, and many of our patrons do that because they don't have internet at home, you are sitting in an open area, just basically sitting at a table like that, at a computer, and anybody and everybody can walk right by and see what you're doing. So that's not okay. Outdated ventilation. We have 4 roof ventilation units. Every one of those is nearing the end of its useful life. The roof itself is nearing the end of its useful life. The windows are outdated. They're not energy efficient, need to be replaced. The ventilation in the basement. The basement is a very large basement and we can't use any of it. The basement is poorly ventilated. It has got mold problems. We have equipment down there to try and mitigate that. We have equipment to mitigate radon in the basement, but we can't use it for anything. And in addition to that, not being a habitable space, the only access is a narrow, steep stairwell. Not good for the staff. It says, if you see there, it says rigid stacks, not flexible. The stack in a library term, when you talk about a library, a stack is a bookshelf. And the bookshelves in our library they're very nice. They hold books, but there's a couple of problems with them. One, they're not on wheels, which if you go to any modern library, you're going to see that. So you can't move them at all. And they're not ADA compliant. Because we have too many books, which is a good problem for a library to have, is so many books. We don't have the shelf space to have them properly in accordance with ADA within a given range of height, so everybody can access the books. Inadequate restrooms. We already talked about the restrooms. One of them, the one that's not scary, is right next to the activity area and the meeting area. So if you're having a meeting, there's acoustics if you're using the restroom. Not good. All right. So talk about some things we want to do. We're going to improve security for staff and for patrons. We'll enhance the building entrance to make that easier. We'll talk about some of that when we get to the drawings. Improve visibility from the circulation desk. And one of the things we want to add is some cameras and whatnot, make it easier to monitor the entire library. Update all the mechanical equipment. Exterior siding and finish be updated. We are going to retain the appearance of the existing structure. It's a nice brick structure, and then the expansion project will include matching bricks so the building looks the same. We want to retain that look. We're going to enhance ADA accessibility, improve the restrooms, of course, and put mobile stacks in. Let's talk about programs. What's wrong there? So we have no community meeting space. Gail receives phone calls on a regular basis from people asking for hey, I need a room to do this, I need a meeting room, and it's not from just some people meet with their social workers and have other conversations of an extremely private nature they like to have. They want to have that at the library and they can't because there is no such space. We want to enhance the building entrance, make it, look better from the, curb appeal and also a little more protected. We've already talked, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong spot. No space for community pantry. Right now we have a shelf. That's our community pantry. And that is a good place for community pantry because it's open more than our community pantries are. So let's have a place for people to come do that. No study or meeting rooms. We've talked about no lounge or reading space. There's no individual teen area, no small children's area, basically inadequate program space. And that's going to be highlighted in some of the pictures you're about to see. So we want to add a community meeting room. We want to enlarge those program spaces. We want to update the library technology itself, the internet, the computers and so on. Expand the programs offered, the music room, the maker space, esports, all these things are available at libraries around the country, but not here because we just don't have the room for it. All right, go ahead. All right. The wheels. Yeah.
I went a little fast. You're all right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
Nope.
we probably.
We can zip through that. It just says our goals and objectives based on the guiding principles, ta-da, and then architectural work. That's what we're to create these areas. We got to get through this quick.
Respect your time.
Yeah.
So yeah, some systems are adding audio visuals, monitors reviewing, card entry system for doors, which we'll talk about in a minute. Video surveillance we mentioned. Put electricity at the meeting table, which is easy. Backup generators, and there's grants available for that. So that's a little easier. And we talked about enlarging the parking lot, put an outside area, including the riverfront and dock, covered seating outside, and we mentioned improving the library dock. So some pictures of the exterior and interior of the building as it exists today. And you'll see those stacks I'm talking about, the non-moving stacks, and it really removes a lot of flexibility we would otherwise have at the building. And I'll let Gail talk about this one.
We are a busy library, and these pictures will help you see that. The one that I would like to show you here. This is our children's area, and it is, it's full. It's a lot. It's full. That being said, if we enhance the space of the library, the noise from that program won't bother someone trying to do their taxes. So that's what we're all about. Hang on. These are some after-school programs that we offer in the children's area. Again, trying to bring in that learning that is extended from the school systems.
Yeah, and the library also serves as a location for people who homeschool their kids to be able to access information and stuff at the library.
Yeah, we have a lovely homeschool club. We have some outreach with Large from Clinton, and we'd like to do that with other entities, bring them into the library and have them have a day with us or do some crafts and other things. So again, with that learning in mind, we have a lot of adult programs. Now here's this. Go one more. Yeah, well, yep. Our adult programs, we have to bring in chairs from the other places around the city just to have enough chairs for the people, but let alone the space is very tight. This one though. There's the restroom. And it is really the only one that I would allow anyone from the public to go to. But it's right there. So
what meeting was that?
Security meeting.
Yeah.
Cybersecurity meeting.
Cybersecurity.
Right. Thank you. All right. Sometimes we don't have enough room for the program at the library, and maybe it's raining outside, so we can't use the outside space. So we do divert over to the community center. It happens on occasion that the community center is already booked. And so we have had times where we've just had to cancel. We do have a lot of things outside. Our property is just beautiful, and we don't mind doing that, of course, on beautiful days. And with the right programs, you almost have to. However, we are on a corner lot and a river, so it's not always safe in the way that it's set up at this point. Like they mentioned earlier, there is not a real great space for meeting. We do have the Board of Trustees meetings, we have Girl Scouts that want to meet, and all kinds of other things. This space used to be a meeting room, but it was too small anyway for what people needed it for. So it got turned into a toddler area, and now it's too small for that.
All right, so let's talk about, this is the existing floor plan as it library sits today. The two turrets face the river, and you see the expansion is the large purple area over there to the left. That was done in 1996. We did have some issues with it. We were in the building, I could point out where the ceiling right at that juncture started to collapse a few years back, and Bob Edens, one of our local contractors, came in and fixed the building up for us. But we certainly would fix that up. But you can see the small area. We have the office and storage. You go through the office to get the storage, and there's that little scary stairwell to the scary little basement.
Here's the office.
Yeah.
In order to get to the storage, you either go through there or you can go all the way around to that.
Yeah. So just take a look overhead at the site. There's some opportunities here. We to enhance the outdoor usage at the site. You'll see over here, we got a little circle going out, and you see that circle over there in the middle of the picture, and it's pointing, that is a park. And back in the 70s, the city council considered making that a real park and putting stairwells and all that, and that project was shut down. So we can certainly do that today. We can put a little walkway or that park. It's all city property down there, and our access to the dock itself. All right, so I'm gonna get both those pictures up. Okay, so these are the two options that we're looking at. If you've been to the site, you know we have the train depot and we have the caboose that are both sitting on site. We certainly at least want to move the caboose if we can, or the depot, I'm sorry, at least the depot. And that's easy to do. We moved it where it is now, so we can move it out of there too. But you get that out of the way to make room for parking. So option one to the left.
This is the current parking area right here. That's it. Option one would be expanding the parking out that way.
Yeah, so option one on the left, you see we have put additional parking spots there along with some on the street. So it gives us a little more parking. To the second option, we move both the caboose and the depot off the site. We have a lot more parking we can put right there. And so that's just some options available for the site. So let's talk about the building. This is just a view. Now these are architect renderings done on the computer. Again, this is not reflecting what we want the thing to look like. There will be a brick structure when this is done. But this is one of the options we've got. This is concept study A, and there's two different concepts. I'll explain that in a second. And this is looking from the river, and then you can see the main entrance down here as illustrated by the big words main entrance. All right. So again, you compare this, there's the floor plan for the existing structure, and then this would be the concept A expansion. And if you look at that, you can quickly see where the concept of the original structure sits, and then look at what we're adding. If you will, we can get one of you, Carol, kind of point up. So we see up here.
She's a better fan than I am.
Yeah, there you go. So you see up here, toward the river, we're going to add a large number of stacks going toward the river with a reading room and another turret going toward the parking area. We had a community meeting room and some other meeting rooms in there. And the idea here is we are trying to make an entrance where the community can use it, just like the community center at Comanche is now. You can rent it out, you get a little key card, you can log in anytime. The same thing would happen here. You'd be able to log into that community room anytime, regardless of whether the library is open or not. So that's why that meeting room is located away from the river in this concept. And then over here, we have an outdoor amphitheater and an outdoor seating area. We would add to the existing structure and doing some other work in it. But the addition, the real big thing is that all this new space we could add and make study areas and meeting rooms available to the public. And I'll let Andrew talk about this part.
All right, I'm the money guy. So the estimate cost of this project would be $5 million-ish. Currently, we have a debt for the Washington Boulevard project that was $4.2 million. That debt will be falling off in 2027. So we're looking to replace the one debt with the old debt with a new debt. So it maintains the tax levy about the same. That still leaves $1 million gap, but it's pretty easy to get a CAT grant for $500,000, and we get some other local funding to help bridge that gap a little bit, maybe make some changes so it doesn't quite reach the $5 million cost. But that's kind of easily attainable. That shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, so use of debt, replacing Washington Boulevard. It costs about $360,000 a year. Get some grant funding, CCDA funding, get some private donations. It's really easy to get naming rights to the children's wing of the library. You better spend a lot of money. That's not good. And not my $3,000 contribution isn't going to get the children's wing named after me, but company or someone wants to put that in there, then that's fine. We'll be happy to do that. Comanche debt capacity is $21 million in property valuations. Current debt for general obligations from our tax levy is actually only $3 million right now. That's about 19%. Most cities operate in the 60 to 80% of their debt capacity. So we're very low in our debt capacity, and that's what helps keep our tax levy where it is. All right.
All right, let's talk about concept study B. Is a two-story concept, and this is where the steel frame of the original house comes into play. With the steel frame, we can add a second story, and the structure is already ready for that. So you can see the views, and I'm going to talk about the pictures. But in this case, now the same place where we have the stacks in concept A, we still have the stacks. We see it's raised up higher, and there's just more windows over there. See where Gail was pointing. That's one story. It's just a really big ceiling, lots of glass. Let the morning sun in, and light the place up. And then over there, on top of the existing structure, we add a community meeting room, and I'll show you that in just a second here with my. Get there. Again, there's the existing structure. Now we overlay that on that existing structure. We overlay this is the first floor. Yeah, this is just the main level. You'll see on the main level we have the children's area, general stacks again. But this is just the main level. And you go to the next picture, and we have the lower level, the basement, of course, and then you have the second story over there on the very far right. And we have the community meeting room upstairs, outdoor terrace. So you walk out the meeting room, and you're standing on a terrace looking out over the river. Everybody will be taking their prom pictures right there. That will be the place. There's also restrooms upstairs and a kitchen and so on. So that makes it a usable meeting room. If you look over here in the center picture, we are adding an elevator. So we have access going to the basement as well as getting upstairs, and anybody and everybody can get into those rooms upstairs without any concern because of an elevator, and that's all part of the access to the community room we're looking at, like I mentioned earlier.
Again, not restricted to library operating hours. You can be there in the evenings.
Yeah, and you'll see the overall concept budget for the second story, the two-story option, is a bit higher at $7 million. A little bit. So there you go. And I'll let you talk about this part.
So this concept is estimated to be about $7 million, which is my expert math calculation is a little more than $5 million. So how do we do that? Well, we do it the exact same way. Get some grant funding, private donations. We just need lots more. That's it. Lots more. Start getting people to pledge. Yes, I believe in this project. Yes, I will give you $50,000. Yes, I'll give you $100,000. Get these companies or industries, not just in Camanche, but in Clinton, in all these places where we know these companies employ people who live in Camanche, because that's what we're known for. People who live in Camanche generally work somewhere else. And these are quality of life things that these companies do for the communities that they're in, but they're not doing much for the community where some of their folks live. So we start to explain that to them and hopefully get some of their generosity. We haven't been great about philanthropy in Camanche. This is really the first opportunity for people who live there and for corporations who have people who live there and corporations in the area to be philanthropic with our city. Same thing about the debt capacity, none of that changes. Great. Gail, that's you.
Oh, boy.
This is an aggressive timeline.
Right, so we have to vote this in a referendum vote in November of 2025. So if it passes, then we're hoping for getting bids up until April. and then starting the building in July and finishing in August of 2027. So looking forward to that.
My guess is that gets all pushed back a year, but you know, we can always dream.
Yeah. Thank
Okay,
you.
so we'll field questions on anybody who's got them.
We got some.
Oh.
Hey, our librarian, here's a news flash. Librarian's got a question. Okay, go.
Do you have the full support of your city council for this project?
Well, the city council did include it in the proposed amendments to the capital improvement plan. So the fact that it goes to a referendum and the citizens get to vote on it makes them more comfortable to support it. We just have to do a job of doing this, explaining to people how it's actually paid for. Because that's the biggest fear. People don't know how it's going to be paid for, and they're not understanding that a debt is debt fall off and your tax levy goes like this, and nobody pats you on the back. They don't come running the city hall saying, hey, great job. No, they don't care. But the minute you go from that back to that, people freak out. My taxes went up. Well, if we could just keep that smooth going across, then it doesn't matter that much. That's the best way to do it.
Are you on the city council?
Yes, I am.
And I just want to commend to you all. You have the city administrator, a council member, the board president, and the librarian all working together and all supporting the project. So kudos to you. Wonderful work.
Thank you.
Thank you. We had a question back here.
What is your plan to have a reserve? Prices are 15 or 20% higher.
Good question.
That's a good
Why does it what?
What is your plan to have a reserve?
There's a contingency plan built in there. There's some coverage in there, and you know those things may change as we move along. That's kind of why we're trying to be aggressive. The sooner you get it done, the fact about government projects, it's never cheaper to do it than it is today. The sooner you get ground broke, the less it's going to cost if you're going to do it. The longer you wait, the more it costs. So let's get it done quick.
Will the library stay open while you're doing all this?
Well, it's a bit of a logistics issue. Well, we will figure it out. It won't be the full service capacity that we have now, but we will figure something out where we can work with a couple of organizations and people that have larger buildings that we can try and transfer some stuff to and get services to. It won't be the same, but you know, in the end, if it takes a little bit of pain, kind of like going through a roundabout process, in the end, it works out just fine.
Any other questions? Please. Thank you for your time. Oh, wait,
Oh,
one
wait,
more.
go on.
2 questions. Is that a 51% vote?
Yes.
Yes.
And the second question, what's your interest rate on your current bonds?
Well, it depends. You know, we've got some bonds that have been out there for.
The one you're replacing, 4.25.
Oh, that is, I think, 4%. That was done 2007. Yeah.
What's your
2008.
projected rate?
What's that?
What's your projected rate?
Well, I'm in the wait and see category. You know, I think there's a lot of pressure on the Fed right now to lower interest rates like yesterday. And if they do that, then it would probably be the best time to move. When we did the City Hall remodel project, we got 1.5% interest on that loan. That's a great rate. And if we can get that kind of rate on a project like this, that's a great rate. I don't know if it'll happen, but we can only dream. The flip side of that is, as those interest rates went up, now we're getting better CD rates for the city, so we're making a lot more in CD returns, and that's been a blessing for us too. So you know, you take the good with the bad. Is that it? All right, great. Thank you, folks.
So Gail and everyone, our tradition at Rotary is to donate. Interesting. It's never happened before. On our speaker's behalf, each week we donate a book to the Clinton Public Library. We'll make sure to take care of you guys too. In your name, we will donate the book Skandar and the Phantom Rider. So we'll have you all sign that.
Oh, that's wonderful. How did you do that?
I'll say. So we'll have to make sure to take care of the Comanche Public Library too. We'll get some books over there for you guys, maybe post renovation and fill those stacks. Anyway, thanks everyone for being here. Great attendance today. And Levi, congrats on your badge, and Paul on your award. Ray, thank you for greeting today. Dennis, thanks for invocation. Mary, thank you for fellowship. And with that, we'll see you next week. Experience the magic of Rotary.
Great to see you.
Because they have been like.
Yeah, so I don't know if we saw any of them
Your wife was doing a
today.
great job updating on Facebook. Yeah, yeah.